Another dead whale washed up on the New York-New Jersey coastline Monday. It's now the 10th whale to wash ashore in the area since December. A group of Jersey Shore mayors are calling for an immediate stop to offshore wind farms, blaming the deaths on the project. But most of the state's environmental groups say there is no evidence that the windmills and whale deaths are linked. Rivard joins me now on set. He covers energy, the environment, and transportation for Politico in New Jersey. So, Rai, you recently wrote an article about this. Let's start with the mayors. Do they have any basis for this connection they're drawing between the whale deaths and the wind farms?
It's really a coincidence in the technical sense of the word. There's been pre-construction activity and a bit of minor construction activity for wind farms on the Atlantic seaboard. And there has been an unprecedented or unusual number of whale deaths, particularly in recent months. And there has been this thought that there could be a connection, although there really is no evidence that there is at this point.
And do they have political motivation for drawing this link together, these mayors?
Yeah, for a number of months, we've been covering some opposition from shore communities in Jersey, and there's been certainly similar opposition in Long Island to offshore wind farms. People don't like the views. They have concern about infrastructure coming across their beaches. And this has all been blended in with some environmental concerns that are legitimate about the impact of large turbines in the ocean, affecting marine life.
So there are, more broadly speaking, legitimate concerns about the wind turbines, just not necessarily environmental concerns with respect to these deaths. Is that fair to say?
It's a mix. One of the groups that's been calling for an investigation into what's going on with the whale deaths has said, this might be more than a coincidence. And they've been warning for years that the federal government may not be monitoring what's happening. But the federal government is saying, look, there's been years of sonic mapping. We know what, loud noises in the ocean do, and we don't believe that the kind of noises that are being used, the kind of sonar and sonic mapping for offshore wind, is the kind of thing that is known to mess with whales. And there's even louder noises that are used to map for offshore drilling and offshore gas exploration.
And those louder noises haven't caused anything like this?
There isn't a belief that the noises for offshore wind exploration would cause what we're seeing right now.
And is the environmental group Clean Ocean Action, is that the group that's saying that perhaps there is this linkage, even though there's no scientific evidence for a linkage?
Right, and they're saying, that there is an absence of evidence of what's causing these deaths. So maybe there's an absence of regulatory oversight. The regulators say what they do know is that there have been entanglements with fishing equipment, and there have been boat strikes. But there are an awful lot of boats in the Atlantic Ocean, and it's not clear which one has struck what whale.
And is there any other prevailing theory for what's caused? Because 10 since December seems like a lot.
There's been an unusual number of whale deaths over the past several years. We're talking near 180 deaths since 2016. And there are some number of theories that are being explored in some ways. There's thoughts about, a change in fish that whales feast on or prey that whales go after. Shifting their routes in the ocean, perhaps due to climate change.
And so if the Republican mayors are motivated by concerns about how this looks for the beach shore communities, there's a motivation for the Biden administration, too. I mean, in other words, these wind farms, put them in the context of the Biden energy policy.
So over the next couple of years, they want to put hundreds of wind turbines in the ocean. It's a big part of President Biden's goals, of New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy's clean energy goals, New York Governor, similar goals. We're talking hundreds of wind turbines that would provide power for millions of homes.
All right. Ryan, thank you for helping us sort through all that.
Thanks for having me.
Through that mystery.